Good morning, my fellow citizens. This is my first video of 2018. In this video, I will be discussing the pros and cons, at least what I believe are the pros and cons, of the election and presidency of Donald J. Trump. Now, let me be clear that I didn't vote for Hillary or Trump. I'm just stating my opinion about the guy who's currently in the White House. Here's the cons. We'll start with the cons, why I don't like Trump. First of all, he's a Republican. I've been a Democrat since at least 2006. He is one with narcissistic personality disorder, and he shows all the classic signs. He has unrealistic ideas about how to solve America's problems, such as building a wall on the Mexican border to keep illegals out and having Mexico pay for it. While the wall is a good idea, having Mexico pay for it is a stupid idea because, one, they are already plagued with corruption and poverty. What makes you think they're going to pay for a wall that you built? You're the billionaire. Why don't you pay for it? His vice president is a Christian whack job who thinks that electroshock therapy cures homosexuality and turns them straight. I am a devout Christian, and yet I am not this. I do not think like this. He also believes that vaccines causes autism, and it doesn't really offend me, but it does irk me as someone who is on the autistic spectrum. To be clear, Asperger's syndrome. While I don't think he has ever sexually assaulted anyone, he has made comments alluding to sexual harassment. He attacked John McCain for being a prisoner of war, saying, "He's a war hero because he got captured. I prefer people who weren't captured." Mr. Trump, John McCain is a hero. He fought for our country, Vietnam, and he was captured and he was tortured. Any person who can survive torture is a hero. You have no right to attack him for it. He also gave out Senator Lindsey Graham's cell phone number out of spite and blamed Megyn Kelly's tough questioning on her period. And I don't like either. I don't like the three that I just mentioned. McCain is a military jingoist. Senator Graham is a fearmonger saying that we're all going to get killed because of Obama. And Megyn Kelly is a former Fox News hack. Trump wants to impose sensationally harsh and high tariffs on imported goods. He supports the unconstitutional profiling of Muslims with his Muslim ban. According to Dr. Shame, he supports the killings of civilians in war. And as I've said, as part of narcissistic personality disorder, he's a shameless self-promoter. And he said that he would have accepted the results of the 2016 election if he won, meaning if Hillary had won, he would have contested the election saying it was rigged. He won, and he still say it's rigged, saying, "I would have won the popular vote if you deducted the millions of illegals voting said." Basically, he would have said the same thing that Andrew Jackson said about the 1824 election, that it was a corrupt bargain or something. He also, not directly but discreetly, called for Hillary's assassination by firearm if she had won. In his first year, Trump has actively sought to implement his jingoist ultra-nationalist agenda with controversial results. I should now list them right now. His efforts to repeal Obamacare has failed many times, and he blames others for Trump-Care's failure to pass. He even blames his fellow Republicans. His Muslim ban has met repeated opposition in federal courts as unconstitutional, and in my opinion, it is. If you're going to ban people from one country or a certain country, you should ban them from all, and not give special treatment to Christians over Muslims. Even as a devout Christian, I think if you're going to ban some people from one country, you should ban them all. Ban all immigrants if that's what you have to do. The Pope doesn't like you. And many times I have seen Melania swat your hand away. Speaking of Melania, She was accused of plagiarizing Mrs. Obama. And there's been multiple Trump administration officials having having to forced to resign, and an ongoing investigation into Russia's role into the 2016 election that has resulted in indictments and guilty pleas from former Trump aides and officials. He has endorsed an accused pedophile, Roy Moore, in a special election in Alabama. Also, he praised, uh, although he is deceased, he has praised Norman Vincent Peale, a Protestant minister who opposed the election of President John F. Kennedy on the basis of his Catholic faith. He said, and I quote, in 1960, "Faced with the election of a Catholic, our culture is at stake." Roy Moore is accused of being a bigot, and Peale was an anti-Catholic bigot. Now, and his cozy relationship with Russia. I do not want Russia as an ally while it is under the leadership of Vladimir Putin. Putin was a communist KGB spy. Once a communist, always a communist, and he has done horrendous atrocities to his own people. Corruption is at its highest, and also the invasion of Ukraine. The annexation of Crimea is, in my case, an illegal act. And his army did supply these Russian separatists with the missiles that did shoot down that Malaysian Airlines Flight 17. Now I shall discuss the pros. Trump stood up to Bashar al-Assad. When Bashar al-Assad used chemical weapons on his own people, Trump responded. He launched, I think it was the mother of all bomb against, I might be wrong about this, but yeah, he basically made a military response without putting boots on the ground. He basically did a responsible thing, responding, but without, sending countless Americans to the slaughter. He is anti-political correctness, although he does take it a little too far. He conflates telling it like it is and being anti-political correctness to being a total jerk and just offending everybody. Yeah. Oh, and another thing I forgot to add this about cons. He started the whole birth certificate thing, but he not saying that he was a Muslim, that he was a Kenyan, born in Kenya, and therefore couldn't be president. But yet he never said one word about Ted Cruz being born in Canada. I mean, these people literally, it was Obama and Ted Cruz. Their mothers were both born in America, but why does Ted Cruz get a pass for running for president? Because he's a Republican? Because he's fully white? I don't know. And he only stops, and he said Obama was born in America when he was running for president. You know what that's called? Backpedaling. Anyway, back to the pros. He is not a feminist like Obama is. Yeah. Also, one last con. Net neutrality ended under his watch, and 2 government shutdowns have happened under his watch. And when the one government shutdown happened under Obama, he said that Obama was to blame, that the President of the United States is to blame for any government shutdowns. And well, there's 2. And so Trump, by his own logic, is to blame for the shutdowns. There's a lot more cons than pros, but I'm trying to list them. But yes, that's what I think is the basic pros and cons of Trump. The pros, basically, he stood up to Bashar al-Assad, and he's anti-political correctness, although he takes it a little too far. Oh, and he called CNN. He called out CNN for being fake news, which it is, especially after they did that BuzzFeed dossier of Trump. Yeah, that was yes, that was calling it fake news scuffle. Although I don't like how Trump thinks he needs to respond to every slight made against him. Even my neighbor said who supports him um, says how he's acting childish by thinking he has to have the last word, and he needs to quit using Twitter and quit issuing so many executive orders. Now, that, my fellow citizens, is my personal opinion on Trump. I do not like him. I am not sure whether he'd be a better candidate than Hillary. I certainly know that Hillary wanted to do a no-fly zone in Syria, which would have caused conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia. So, yeah, that is my opinion. And it is 3:47 a.m. here in Georgia. I'm gonna try to go to sleep. Good night, good morning, wherever you are. May God and may the Force be with you.